Hello and welcome to a very special episode of Kick Point, the Golf Gear Show, live, as we do this right now, Joe, from the Justin Rose Room at Northants Golf Club in North Hampshire. Hello, Joe.
Hello, Dan. How are you? What a lovely intro that was.
Very well, very well. And now, could you describe the space we're in for those listening?
Yes, it's a shrine, isn't it? To Team Rose, Justin Rose. And what a room it is. It's so cool. So we've got behind us, we've got the US Open, the 113th US Open, full leaderboard as it finished, with Rose victorious there. I think it's a really cool touch. What a lovely mural to have on a wall.
It's very special. Those watching can see that behind our heads now, and it's very, very cool. And my favourite part of this room, Joe, which we'll show some B-roll of now, the sticks at Merion, the flag sticks at Merion, which are really, really cool with the baskets on top.
Yeah, really cool. I'd forgotten they were red. There's a proper vibrant, bright red.
It's like, the crossing ladies at schools. Or men, they could be either. But, it's like one of them, but with big red basket on top.
And when you come in a room like this, you look at the amount of times he's holding a trophy. He's won a lot of golf tournaments, isn't he? He's really good at golf, isn't he?
It is a shrine to the great man. I love Justin Rose. Why are we here, Joe?
We are...
Because I'm going on holiday and we had to record a podcast really quickly while I'm away.
There's that. There's also, we're down here tomorrow, aren't we? We're playing the course. We have got a little strategy day with Golf Monthly. We're playing the course, so we thought we'd come early. Get a little bit of other work done, including the podcast. And I'm glad we did, because it's a glorious place. Glorious
place to be, so I hope you enjoy watching it. Coming up this week, Joe's chatting shafts. There's a big thing of shafts by Joe here. Listen to that. Ooh, we're going to chat about them. I've got some show and tell to do here. Ooh. Some Ask the Pods. And then the What's in the Bags this week, brought to us by Golf Clubs for Cash, is a Ryder Cup retro special.
And
a double header, our first double header, Moliwood 2018. What was in the bags of Tommy Fleetwood and Francesco Molinari on that historic week?
As they went 4 for 4, didn't they?
Special pairing, wasn't it?
Very special, yeah.
And with the Ryder Cup coming up very, very soon, we thought we'd get in the mood, eh, Joe?
Very topical, because as we record this, Tommy just won the Tour Championship, didn't he? 2 days ago. 2
days ago. We don't know the picks that have come. We don't know what the teams look like yet, because the Americans... Well, let's not do this, because they'll all know by now. But yeah, we're in the past and you're in the present. And
Molinari would be a road pick at this stage.
Which one? Eduardo? Eduardo would be a strange one.
Eduardo. Statistically, I think I'm bang on for this one. I'm in, Luke. He'd have to go with it, wouldn't he? Trust him.
He would. He trusts the stats. So yes, the Ryder Cup coming up, we'll get stuck into that. But Joe, how are you? What have you been getting up to recently? You've got some things to talk about, haven't you?
What have I been getting up to? So yeah, a couple of things I was going to go into. We went to the Belfry, didn't we? We did a bit more tour exposure. So we saw a lot of DP World Tour players practicing, chatted gear with a lot of those guys.
Really enjoyed that day. We just parked ourselves in the range and watched these guys hit balls. The atmosphere was good. I must say, I thought the British Masters was great to watch on telly.
It was a good watch.
It was a really good tournament this year.
I was listening to Eddie Pepperell on Chipping Forecast, and he was talking about he played the event. He said it's one of the best British Masters he's ever played in terms of staging and the things for the fans. It was a really good setup, wasn't it? It was a really nice atmosphere. It was a great event, that.
We've got loads of What's in the Bags to come up. You'll see over the next few weeks and the players we met there. You've seen Marco Penge already, who may or may not be on the Ryder Cup team. Who knows? You know, we don't.
Hope so.
And other players, some who did and some who didn't know their equipment that well. We'll come on to those a bit later. But we sort of spoke after. Yeah, but you want to have a little dig.
Not a dig. It was an observation. And sometimes when we do these What's in the Bags, you don't know what you're going to get with a player unless you're dealing with, like a Justin Rose, for example, who... most people know is hugely articulate and into all the granular detail.
And we're desperate to get on, Justin.
Of his equipment.
We're in your room.
I will be.
Please come on the show.
Yeah, that's a good point. We can use this as a show reel, because I'm going to try desperately to speak to Justin at Wentworth, yeah, for the BMW. So that would be a really cool one. But yeah, so sometimes when you're going into these What's in the Bags with players, you don't know the level of attention they give to equipment, and it can be really hit and miss. You can all of a sudden switch someone on who is willing to engage in a massive nerd off because they've tried everything and they're really into that. Or you
see Ian Poulter, you both had a big nerd off the pair of you, didn't you, last year?
Yeah, and even Blandy. Remember Blandy, our first one? That was what a great start that was.
Always remember your first.
Yeah, you do always remember your first, and what a man it was. But also you can get players that, quite frankly, don't have a clue, and a lot of them will say, yeah, that's not really my job. I just let the guys whose job that is, the tour van, they take care of that, they look after me, etc., etc. And when I hear that, and I've done a lot of these What's in the Bags where I I sort of excuse it and go, oh, no, that you see that a lot of top players, they don't want to get sidetracked with equipment and get bogged down with that granular stuff. They want to focus on their games, etc. And then I was driving down today and I was thinking, I just don't think that's true. I was thinking of the best players in the world. Tiger knew everything about every little quarter of a degree and point whatever of a swing weight. He had different layers of tape under his wood grips to his iron grips to get them matched up. He could feel whether a shaft was pured or not pured. He was so into the granular details of equipment. Nicklaus was the same. So we've got the two best players of all time. We've spoken about Scotty Scheffler, a man who's dominating the game at the moment, who will sometimes take 30 grips to get the correct feeling of grip on one club.
And do them himself. Every now and again, yeah.
Sometimes I did just start to wonder whether a few of the players that are saying, that's really not my area, or I let those guys get on with that. I wonder whether a lack of understanding there, and I don't want to sound critical because there's a few of them we've spoken to, but I wonder whether that's part of their job, right? The equipment they use, and we're going to be biased on this because we're an equipment podcast, the equipment they use is central to what they earn and central to how many tournaments they can win and contend in. Like, it's really important part of their job. Is it a bit negligent to just not pay any attention to that and go, I just outsource that to someone else? Because there's so many players that have made a huge difference to their career trajectories and earning capacity and legacy through changing equipment and making and again, maybe I can't think of a specific example here, but the players I've named there, the very best of the best guys that I've spoken to and what's in the bags that I study, that I know through time, they know their equipment and they know what a swing weight change will do. They know when it's playing a little bit too upright or too flat. They know why they're in that driver. They know why they like this one over that one. Some of them couldn't remember what shaft they were in, which is about another example we've had is Victor Hovland sort of going, I don't really mind about you forgetting to put a couple of wraps on my irons, I'll just leave them. And at least he's aware of that. Are you saying it's the people who are just totally unaware and just don't even ask the questions that are maybe like missing out on 5 or 10%? Possibly, yeah. Maybe I would be critical of Hovland there. We sort of laugh that off because that's his character and Victor's a good guy, isn't he? Well, maybe if he did demand that extra layer to make sure it was absolutely perfect and match up with his irons. This is just a pure spec. But, enjoyed it. No, a lot of these players would not let that slide. Tiger would not let that slide. Scheffler would not let that slide. Nicklaus would not have let that slide. But surely there are plenty of guys who know their gear are on tour not doing very well at the minute as well. Yeah, quite possibly. But all I'm saying is if you're wanting to optimize everything and you want to give yourself the best chance and you're up every day grinding and practicing and gymming and seeing your psychologist and playing your practice rounds and strategizing, I think some of these players might be missing a real opportunity to find another 0.5% of performance by exploring a little bit more and learning a little bit more about what's achievable with equipment. That's all I'm saying. But surely those guys who they're just putting their trust in the guys and girls they work with on the tour truck just to say, listen, I'm going to actually spend that extra 1% or 5% of focus in the gym or on my technique. If you don't like golf equipment, right, it's really hard to. If you don't naturally like golf equipment or interested in it, it's really hard to make yourself like it. I think I've managed to do it to get paid. I don't really care. I'm joking. I'm just saying, but you just have to be aware of it then. Yeah, who am I thinking of? There's a couple of players I spoke to and about who really get off these eggshells. Who really get off the fence. Who really don't like the gym. But it's essential. They've got to be in good physical condition now to play golf and maximise and avoid injury. So just saying you don't like it, so I'm not going to do it, is that's how you live your life. Yeah, and that's probably how I live my life. That's why we're sat here. So I'm saying if you're going up against the best of the best of the best, I think for me you should be looking to leave no stone unturned. And if you're someone who's got no idea at that level about why you're in a certain bounce, why you're in a certain shaft weight, why you're in that profile, why you might be hitting that shot because this swing weight is like any of that stuff. I feel if you're not taking an active interest in that at that level, you might be missing a trick. Is kind of what I'm saying.
Yeah, and I think you're right.
You might not be.
What a useless argument. After he's just all of that, and then just gone. Also, maybe not.
But that's not true. I
no. What you're saying broadly
it,
is now. I mean, how many people have we interviewed now for this podcast for What's in the Bags? Shall I say 20?
Yeah.
Just for an even number. What percentage have been a little bit like, oh, I don't really know, when you ask them a question?
I'd say it's probably over 50.
We've only interviewed a percent.
Yes. I'd say it's about 50-50.
50% have just gone, I'm trying to think now.
Oh, not total, I think we've had 2 total,
So 2 out of 20. So 10% have been, So we reckon 10% of tour players are complete,
I reckon another 40.
Use our language a bit better, but yeah.
I reckon another 40% are, I like this because this, but I don't know what it is. And they will give you some feedback as to why something might be in there. So 10% are totally, I don't know what that is. I'll just play it because the guys on the band said I should play it. Another 40 might be, I was in another shaft, but I like the feeling of this one because I was losing it a bit right. So there's some method they've explored the equipment side of things a little bit, and then maybe the other 50 are properly
locked in.
Locked in. Like I couldn't play a grip if it wasn't set this way.
Interesting.
Like Poulter, blacking out certain parts of the face because I don't like to see so much face, because when I see more face it makes me do this.
Yeah.
Like the real intricacies of what you can really fine tune your equipment to do and achieve and give you the correct feelings. I honestly do think there's plenty of players leaving stuff on the table there.
Yeah. And I think what you're broadly saying is when you've interviewed those people and you're like, fair enough, don't worry, mate, not everyone's into it. You're actually going to be like, no, that's not on at your level.
No, I'm still going to do the same thing. I'm still going to go,
I'm not saying you're going to say it to them, but when we talk afterward, you're not
slag them off.
Yeah, great. And you know who you are. Well, there we go. And we'll let you know the next time we get one of them.
And it doesn't make them a bad person.
No, it makes them a bad person.
3 or 4 of the people that have...
You're a terrible bloke.
A few of the people that didn't have a clue, just delightful company, but I just couldn't help but thinking, God, if you knew a bit more about this, you might save 2 shots a tournament. And 2 shots a tournament might be
over a
£200,000 at the end of the year.
All just to pay a bit more attention to your equipment. Listen to Kickpoint, the Golf Gear Show. Learn the ways of the equipment.
Learn and earn.
And we're preaching to the choir here because everyone here watching and listening is going to be into this anyway. So they're like, get into your equipment, lads.
Is that too holier than thou, that rant?
Yeah, but hey.
Why do I always say rant? Rant.
You like a holier than thou as well.
Yeah, I do.
I like that phrase though.
Like I said, that's the feeling I got.
That's fine. You're allowed to have feelings. They're important.
Good.
And get them out there for goodness sake.
Well, they're out there.
Great. Can I do a bit of show and tell?
Yeah, please.
Well, these next to me.
What have we got here, Dan?
Full set, Joe. I'll do this backstory in a minute. 1 to sandwich. I left the putter at home, annoyingly, of Ping I2s. Fully regripped by my friend Phil at Club Class in Solihull.
Thank you, Phil.
If you ever need a club repair, a reshafting, a regrip, and you're in the West Midlands, Club Class, just Google it, it's great. Anyway, my dad... who'll have these by now. These were a birthday present for my dad.
Feels like Dan may have got Phil to do that for free for a mention on the podcast.
No, absolutely not. I was just like, hey, sue me for supporting small business, right?
Cool.
Yeah. Also, I think that's what you could be doing. He runs out of a little shack on the side of a driving range, just
We've
regripping.
had this discussion before.
That is such a bit of you. You could just do this podcast and test clubs.
Yeah, that'd
Why
be
don't you do that? You'd love it.
Right, done. Sold.
Cool.
Perfect.
My dad will have these by now. It's a birthday present for him. But he gave these to my uncle, his brother, who then moved to the US and sold them.
And stole his wife's putter.
Yes, the same uncle who I was spoken about, who's now getting a lot of airtime. He then sold them. And my dad has sort of subtly, I don't think with the intent for us to get them him, been going, I'd just love to have my old I2s. It was such a great club. What a great club. I love those I2s. Blah, 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 blah. Which I do hear broadly about I2s, by the way. A lot of reverence for them, isn't there?
Correct.
And I know Golf Clubs Cash is sponsoring a bit of this episode, but we did it on Facebook Marketplace, which is another sound opera. No, terrible. We found a 1 and a 2 iron. These came together.
Okay, so we're all set.
Right, and then the 3 to sand were all the same. I've got them re-gripped, Joe, with some sort of new ping grips, as similar as I could find to the original i2s.
We had this discussion,
and they just look lovely.
Yeah.
Look at this one to sand wedge in a bag. You can just whack a driver in there and you're done.
That's an incredible amount of offset on that one iron, though, isn't it? Have you looked down on it?
Let's have a look.
It's about like an inch of offset. But yeah, I get it. There's a couple of things you didn't like. You told me you weren't big into the no ferrule look, were you?
Goodness me, ferrules are vital.
They are,
aren't they? Important to the look of a golf club. Never thought I'd get that deep. And then the sand wedge, where is she? I'd use that now. Look at the grinding on that. It's fun, isn't it? It's just something a bit different. You can still use that as you get out of bunker free club.
Oh, I still think I genuinely do think that's the best bunker club of all time. I did the
Bunker, the new Ping Bunker, is pretty much that, isn't it?
Yeah, I think I did a retro review actually with Howard behind the camera. We did it on the Ping i2 Copper Beryllium, didn't we, at the Berkshire?
So you got them with you now, and you said they're cancerous.
Yeah, the Copper Beryllium, I believe, have some sort of carcinogenic properties that...
Is that if you lick them? Which I'm sure you're doing anyway.
Yeah. There's something... I probably won't get into that because I don't have many details on that. But in terms of the sole design of these i2s is quite simply delightful. Mm-hmm. If you look at the front and back, look at that from the side.
Yeah.
So you've got a ton of bounce at the front.
Yeah.
So that helps the club slip into the turf brilliantly. And then you've got a ton of bounce back at the back. So the entrance and exit of this is just so smooth on sand. And like I said, I did it with the Copper Beryllium, but he'll be pleased with those. There's also,
I think he might go out and play with these still, for fun.
There's also something,
not in a medal.
One of our audience will know this. There's something about the plus that's in the cavity here. So you see the little plus there in the cavity?
Yeah.
That's distinguishing in some way, and I can't remember what it is. Like that either means they're conforming or non-conforming grooves.
The one and the two have the plus in as well.
They all have the plus, yeah.
Oh.
I was just eyeing them up. So all of yours, but some sets of the i2 didn't have the plus.
Does your Berylliums have the plus?
Can't remember. I'll go and have a look.
Are they in the...
No, they're in my boot. Great podcasting. But yeah, one of you out there will know why there's a plus on some of those i2s and why there isn't. So
please let us know immediately.
Let us know in the comments.
Thank you. So yes, that's been quite fun to put together actually, and I need to give him a bit of a polish up actually.
Can I say that's uncharacteristically thoughtful of you, Dan? What
it was
a lovely
mine.
present.
It was mine because
That makes
I've just been the sort of
the facilitator.
He ordered them off Marketplace to my house.
Yeah.
And then I went to Phil, Club Class Repairs.
For all your club needs.
I can show you the receipt.
Yeah, sure.
I don't hand out free advertising here. You got paid for that, right? Golf clubs to cash.
Right, Phil.
Right, what are these shafts doing here? You've been busy shafting.
Yes, I've been looking at shafts, Dan. I've been doing a lot of testing.
Haven't you just?
Haven't I just? I've got 41 individual shafts. I was hassling some companies, so Graphite Design, Fujikura, Mitsubishi.
They've all been very generous.
I've been brilliant and sent me through various weights, various models. So yeah, I've been out testing a lot of stuff, which has been good. So,
right. We'll move on there.
If you'll let me continue, Dan, I found some interesting stuff. So I've been for me. Well, it's interesting for me. I wonder if it'd be interesting for anyone else. Let's find out. But I think it will if I can tailor it to be interesting for someone else. So I've been in the sort of low launch, stiff tip, low spin profiles for a good while now. So Ventus Black has been my shaft of choice for a little while. Really stable, great on dispersion for me, and I still move it pretty quick in terms of club head speed. I'm still around the 120 mark, but I've been having a little trouble lately. Hitting a little bit out of the heel.
Aww.
And I started testing some softer profiles. When we went for that tailor-made fitting in the Kingdom, they took me out of black and put me into blue. Mm-hmm. And that was a shaft, that was kind of a face rotation thing. They wanted the face to catch up a little bit more because I was losing it a little bit right. So they wanted to help a little bit of face rotation. And I found I was centering that a little bit better. And then I found when I went into kind of red profiles like the Ventus Red, like Tensai Red, like those sort of softer tip shafts, I was finding the centre more and more consistently. And the reason, in my opinion, for that, and I need to do some more work to quantify it, is because of the droopy tip of my shaft. So as that shaft droops, right?
Yeah.
Stop raising your eyebrows at the camera.
Wasn't doing that.
As the shaft droops, what happens is, if we're looking at the shaft this plane, I'll do it
to the camera, not me, I don't really care.
As the shaft droops downwards, the toe of the club is coming nearer to my body, or the heel is getting closer to my body. So if I was hitting it off the heel, I'm essentially using the droop of the shaft to re-center that strike. So everything, as soon as I went back into a black profile, I was back missing out of low and out of the heel. So also, when the shaft's drooping, you're bringing the vertical strike up a little bit as well. So the strike will basically go diagonally up from the bottom heel to the high toe with more shaft droop. So I found when I was missing it low heel, everything I've been hitting with a slightly softer tip profile, even though it's still an X, still tipped an inch.
Same sort of weight.
Exactly the same weight category, so 6Xs. So just going into that different profile completely changed my strike location and my consistency of it, and my ball speed was getting through the roof because I just was hitting it out the middle of the golf club instead of hitting low necks. Now, I can play with those low necks. It's quite a safe shot, isn't it? A little low necky
That's your comfort blanket.
Stays in play and it's fine. But I was losing 3 to 4 miles an hour of ball speed, which is quite a lot of distance when you think about it. So on these
necky strikes,
on the necky strikes.
In the black
as soon
profiles.
as I got it, yeah, exactly. So as soon as I brought that back to a more centered strike, ball speed jumping up, carry distance, consistency, losing that excessive left to right shape that I sometimes hit. And I just thought it was a really interesting thing that truth be told, I've never really had a session like that where I've just taken 40 shafts. I mean, it didn't get through all 40 while I was there.
You must have been cream crackered. You must have been falling apart at the seams, bless you.
I reckon I got through 15.
Yeah.
Because I think it's unfair after that to start.
Yeah, the 16th one's not getting a great representation,
is it? A fair reflection of your swing, is it? But to be able, I felt very fortunate. I had a great practice ground at Saunton where they let me use the championship practice ground. Used obviously the same ball, and everything I've done here with the shaft testing. So I've cut everything to the exact same length. I put the same tailor-made tip on it, same Golf Pride Tall Velvet 60 round grip. Set everything, all the testing done with the tailor-made QI35 head. Because I want to get all the variables the same, even down to using the same White Castle tees to make sure I'm getting the same tee height every time.
Good from you.
Take out all of the variables, and all of a sudden I was just actually seeing the real difference between the performance in those shafts and seeing what it did to my strike, seeing what it did to my ball flight. And I'm starting to feel flex. We've been through this before. Flex, weight, and profile. What's most important? Profile for me in that instance of helping me find the center of the face, still X, still 60 odd grams, 65 grams, but just changing the profile where the tip was just a little bit softer, moved my strike location 3 to 4 millimeters and jumped my ball speed up 3 or 4 miles an hour. So that, in that instance for me, profile was massively important. I'm about to show you when we go out and play a few holes in a minute how important that is.
But it's the most important now because you've established weight and flex already.
Correct.
You are coming from a position knowing that's me. This is actually the last thing you've been toying with, making it potentially the least important thing because you've been playable in the black profile and had your X and your weight right. And it's been playable, right? Would it have been less playable if I suddenly gave you 7X? Would that suddenly make it less playable than just changing profile? Or are we getting way too in the minutiae here?
I honestly think that's something I don't have the answer to yet. I think we are getting into the minutiae, but I think it's important, and that's something I can go to next and say, well, if I get the same profile in the same flex, well, let's try it in 7. What does that do to my strike? Nice. What does that do to my timing? So I could begin, but the more I do this, the more I think, and the way you've just phrased that makes me think that the whole thing is important into the melting pot. And all you need from a shaft, I said this time and time again, it's just a timing mechanism that allows you to get that club face back to the ball squarely and allows you to center strike. The stuff when we're talking about launching high, launching low, high spinning this, whatever in terms of what's going to happen downrange from the shaft, I'm not sure I agree with it as much as I did. So chatting to the guys on the tour vans, Trotty, again, for example, fitting some of the best players in the world, he says, on tour, that one of the last things we think about is shaft. If someone's used to a profile, someone's used to something, we just start there because all the big gains you want to make, if you want to change their launch conditions and their spin, just go straight to the head. One click of the wrench, you're going to change their launch conditions 1 to 2 degrees. You're going to open that face angle. One squirt of hot melt in the head, you're going to change that spin characteristic. There's your wins. There's your quick wins, and that's how you do it more blatantly. The shaft, for me, the more I do this, and that session really reinforced it, It's just a mechanism to help you find the centre of the face. Get it the right weight, the right profile, the right flex, where you can constantly centre it.
The rest that happens after is head.
Yeah, exactly. Don't let that distract you. Don't go, oh, I'm hitting it out the middle, but it goes too high. I need a much lower launching profile. No,
that's fine. You're hitting out the middle.
Good. That's centred. Loft it down. Use the head. Use the head to do the rest.
I really like that. Actually makes it a way less scary, daunting minefield to go into with shafts. And it's like, am I hitting out the centre? Yes, cool, done.
Yeah,
I can figure out the rest of the head with loft, with different head types, different brands of head, different lofts, all that good stuff.
And that's, I mean, some people might disagree with that, but I think it's quite a logical argument. And from some of the people that I get to speak to, the best in the world, who are like, it's great, it's lovely, we've got all these options, and it's all window dressing. It's mainly to cater for the fact they might have been trying something different in the past. But like I said, it's a mechanism. Get it so you're hitting out of the centre and fine tune from there.
Good from you.
Thank you.
And what have you actually gone into? Are you gonna we're gonna have a knock after this? And are you gonna go? Are you in red?
Yeah, I'm.
You in red?
Yeah, I am.
Like Tommy and your man.
Tommy was.
Tommy's
gone t'other way. So Tommy's
gone to blue.
So he's gone to a TR blue in his driver
McKibben's
and his
red.
mini driver. McKibben's red. So I'm going McKibben. I'm going the Ventus TR red. So the TR red. This
softer in the handle.
This is a work in progress. So yeah, it's a softer tip section, but it's somewhere between, in terms of profile, it's somewhere between a standard red and a standard blue. It's kind of that red and a half, basically.
Red 0.5.
Red 0.5.
And where can we find the shaft content? It's going to be on Golf Monthly at some point, isn't it?
Do we know when? All the written reviews are going to be on Golf Monthly, and we're just sort of brainstorming what other videos we do. In terms of like whether we do like the families, I'm going to do which Ventus shaft is right for you, which kind of bigger picture, which bigger picture videos we're going to do that are going to make a difference. I've also had another idea that I want to run by you live.
Yeah, go on.
So
he's had a sugary Coke and he's got his brain's popping. Everybody,
I'm away. So I had a bit of chat with Mark Thistleton on the TaylorMade tour van.
Yeah.
And we were going through kind of driver head measuring. So again, you open riveting stuff, isn't it? You open the drawers on the tour van. They've all got stickers on the heads.
Yeah.
And the 9.5 head, for example, one might be 9.8. The other one will be 8.7. There's a variance. I am going to do a video for Kickpoint where I've got every driver head basically, haven't I?
Mm-hmm.
And I have got the machine which I ordered from Taiwan, Golf Mechanic. Brilliant. This isn't free advertising either because I paid for this. I'll show you the receipts for this.
I'll show you the receipts for my regrips from Phil.
Good. Well, we'll show each other receipts.
Well, great. I look forward to that.
And so I've got the machine where I can sit that in. I can measure exact face angle, exact loft, exact lie angles.
So you're going to go through the driver heads from 2025 and see what they're actually at.
Every driver that's been sent to me in 9 or 9.5 degrees. Let's put them to the test. Let's see which manufacturers are closest to their stated loft of the driver heads that we've got, because there was a disturbing moment, I won't say where, I won't say which manufacturer, where we spoke to someone and they were like, well, this particular club we put out, it says this loft on it, but it's actually got way more. We just don't want to tell them that because they won't use that club if it's got X amount of loft on it, so we just put this loft. And I didn't like that.
I don't like that either. Let's hold these guys to account.
Well, not yet.
Why? You want to measure? I'm saying that by measuring,
by
measuring,
hold
to account,
yeah.
not what
naming
you
names now.
Do you want to whisper it to me?
I'll whisper afterwards.
Okay. Well, you can say it out loud if the cameras aren't rolling. You have to whisper it to
me.
That'd be a bit weird, wouldn't it? So yeah, good shaft stuff, folks. Gosh, I hope you like that because it's niche, isn't it, Joe? Eh?
It is niche, but there's a lot of us with niche tastes out there, Dan.
Good work.
Howard behind the camera likes feet. We discovered earlier.
We did, and so you watching now, our feet are in shot, and that's because of Howard. Thank Howard in the comments for getting those feet in. Tarantino style, for those who know. Right, that's the pod, Joe. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
We got a couple. These are pretty niche this week as well, and they're shaft-based, I think. Can't remember. On YouTube, Scott Enifer, who I think we've heard of him before. I think we've had his hole-in-one story.
Yes.
Keep those coming in, by the way. Do enjoy them. Hi, lads. Great podcast. Really is. He's like to reassure that with himself. Thank you. This is a question from someone who wasn't really into equipment tech until watching your podcast, but I have a serious question that I'd love some advice on.
Cool.
Ready, Joe?
Yep.
Long story short, good. I had M2 irons custom fit in 2017, dynamic gold, X100 shafts, 2 degrees upright. They've been a really good club for a long time, but 3 months ago I decided to give golf clubs a cash. Good from you, Scott. A bash, and bought some lovely P7 MC irons with KBS Tour stiffs and no idea what lie angle they are. They are stunning, but I'm so inconsistent with them. I've never had a draw ever. But if I hit 10 shots with one club, I'll draw 3, fade 4, and hit 3 straight. Would it be purely down to not knowing the lie angle? The shaft not being as stiff and lighter, if they are, I don't think he knows, or is it just my imagination? I don't genuinely feel like I'm swinging a sparkler on November 5th, which is a fun reference.
I assume means
will our Americans know what that is?
I think so. A little stick that lights up.
Yeah.
I think
November
it's a sparkler
5th, Guy
everywhere.
Fawkes, Parliament. We all know that. Come on.
Yeah.
P.S. M2s have gone back in my bag. So, what do you reckon to that, Joe? Some advice for Scott, please.
He's right. Well, yeah. I mean, he's rolled the dice a little bit there.
He's got allured by the sexy club, and I don't mind that.
We love golf clubs to cash, and we love the second-hand market, but you've still got to show some vigilance, because you don't know what's happened to those golf clubs. You don't know what the last owner moved the lie angles to, moved the lofts to. You don't know necessarily sometimes who put the shafts in, etc.
Sorry, I was on Instagram. I'm just getting the next question.
Great, thanks for that. So you've got to be vigilant. So a couple of things. He's gone from M2, which is essentially a game improvement, distance iron, all about forgiveness, all about high MOI, into, as you called it, a slightly sexier club in the P7 MC, which is like more of a better player cavity iron. So you've got less MOI to play with.
Quite a jump in MOI, by the way. There's a couple of stepping stones missed there.
Correct, yeah. So he's leapt ahead there. I wouldn't necessarily say that's a huge problem. If he's not noticing the difference in strike and he's more just noticing the inconsistency in flight, like I'm drawing a few, I'm fading a few, etc., etc. I mean, my first port of call there, if it's not a strike issue, I think he's got to go and take them to the local pro and get them loft and lied.
Just so he knows.
Just so you know. Check how, take yours along with you, because you know your M2s work. Take them along with you. Get them spec'd first and find out how close the P7 MCs are. And if they're not, get them bent to the same spec. And then you're going to be in a good starting place there. And they're really easy to bend. They're very soft, very nice forged clubs. They're not a tough bend at all. So that'd be easy for most PGA pros to do. And then, obviously you've gone down in a flexing shaft. You're in a different... The weight's not massively different between the shafts you've mentioned there, but in terms of profile, there's a difference. And in terms of flex, there's a difference. So you've introduced arguably 4 or 5 variables. So it is no surprise that you're seeing very different performance. If it just so happens that you love those heads and you want to upgrade, then there's a school of thought you could just go, and you're looking to save the money, take those P7 MCs to a club builder, pull the shafts on both, pop them on your X100s that you know and you like, get them set 2 degrees upright if they're not there already. You can even match them up in loft. Those M2s will be a bit stronger than the P7 MCs, but you could quite feasibly match them up in loft. There's no problem going stronger. Marco Penge, we spoke to last week, was 4 degrees stronger.
And stronger will famously introduce more offset, which might actually be handier if you're struggling for strike at the minute, or struggling with the little fadey thing.
And might create a level of familiarity, because there'll be more offset on those M2s.
There will be.
Than there would be on those P7
so they might
MCs.
look down. They might look a little bit more familiar with just a thinner top line.
So first port of call is go and get them checked. Find out what we're dealing with here. Let's spec it out. Figure out. Stop guessing. Measure it.
Yeah.
Then if you just I just love the heads. I just want to play these now. Get them put in the same spec, chuck them on those shafts, or order some more shafts. That's doable as well. And then you've got 2 workable sets. That's where I'd go with it.
Good. Go well, Scott. Let us know how you get on. And we got a second one actually this week, Joe.
Go on.
Michael Charles.
Okay.
Michael Scarn.
Michael Scarn.
On Instagram, this one. Just I'm on my phone. I'm not being rude.
Multi-platform or something.
Oh gosh, you tell me about it. Hi, love the Whitby sections the most, as I'm a self-confessed club nerd. Question please to Joe.
Yes.
Reasonable golf club golfer, flip between scratch and 1, age 51.
So that's better than reasonable.
I would as well. It's very, very good. And have 106 driver speed. I have 80 TX Tour AD VR. Is that a shaft or is that a stroke?
No, that's a shaft, yeah. Graphite design.
In 3/7 woods and great. Driver
in 3 and 7 wood?
Yes.
Okay, yep, good.
Driver isn't strength. Isn't strike. Excuse me.
Neither's grammar by the sounds of it.
Michael, work on your spelling, mush. Driver accuracy isn't my strength, so trying 80x Tour AD in driver seems to be straighter, but lost 2 or 3 mile an hour of ball speed compared to 6x. Long term, is this a bad idea or should I persevere? Have very heavy clubs as I prefer that feel from my junior days. Max Flight Oz blades with S400s. We've heard about these Aussie blades quite a lot over the last few weeks. Love your insight, experience, expertise. So be delighted to pick your brain. Michael from Lytham. Thank you, Michael.
Disclaimer at the start, as always, tough without seeing it.
Yeah, for sure.
But he's given a lot of information there.
Yeah.
And legacy-wise, it does sound like he is more comfortable in something heavier. He probably needs that heft and that mass to be able to feel where the club is and to time it up. And if that's, he said, what did he say? He's come from S400s in Aussie blades. So again, round up on 30 mark. 80 in his 3 and 5 wood. It feels like that's a bit of a push. You don't see many better players in the same weight driver, 3 wood, 5 wood, 7 wood shaft, and that's what he'll be in there. He'll be in an 80 gram or thereabouts in the entirety of his top end of the bag. So I'd suggest there might be, and this is dependent. If that works, it works. It doesn't matter. Like, again, the more time I spend with the tour pros, where you think everything should be thought of and dealt with really meticulously, and you speak to Romain Langasque, who's just, I just felt my 3-iron was a bit long, so I just cut it to the same length as my 4-iron.
Go on, lad.
Cool. Well, if you're seeing what you want to see off a ball flight, then does it have to make sense?
I've done that. I accidentally put my 7 wood shaft in my 3 wood, and I've just kept it because I'm hitting it really well.
So the ultimate litmus test is look at the ball. Look at the ball. Is the ball going where you want it to go? Does it feel how you want it to feel? There's no wrong answer. I would suggest there might be a happy medium here. Instead of going from 6X to an 80 TX, maybe something in that 70 gram range in the middle there might do the job. So without going all the way up to 80 in driver, you could possibly compromise. So what he's probably feeling in a lack of clubhead speed or ball speed, whichever he referred to there, is obviously, generally speaking, the heavier an object is, it's difficult to shift as quick. So he's gone up that much to an 80 TX from a 6X. You're more than likely going to see some speed drop, which he's obviously experiencing. So there could be that happy medium. Maybe go and try something in that more 70 gram range. But also, like I said, if it's working, don't worry about it. And he sort of alluded to, is this good for the future? Or he sort of said something about...
Throwing my phone over there now.
Yeah, he said something about, is this going to be bad moving forward? It's like, well...
Yeah, the slight loss in ball speed.
You can't worry about the future now, Dan. We're dealing with the present. Let's deal with the problem now. And if it's doing what you want it to do, go with it. But also don't be afraid to experiment in length. If you've gone up that much in weight, you can regain a little bit of swing weight potentially by dropping down half an inch. And then if you're dropping down half an inch in length, you might get a slightly better strike. So when you're getting a better strike, your ball speed's going to go up. So... I'm chucking out just statements here. Again, it's always really difficult without seeing them. My summary of that would be it's unusual to see someone in the same weight in driver 3 wood and 7 wood as he said. If it works, don't worry. That's fine. But my suggestion would be get a look in that 70 region. That's still on the heavier side for a driver shaft. And it might just help you retain the speed that you were missing from the 6X, but also create that slight feeling of heft that you're missing in wanting from your 80 TX. Does that make sense?
Very good. And thank you, Michael. And thank you for both those emails. The more specific they are, the better. Yeah. I quite like going into them. So
absolutely, absolutely.
Good work. What's in the bag time? And we're going retro, baby. All the way back. Someone's going to hate me calling 2018 retro, but it was. I remember where I was in the American Golf Brighton store watching this on my little phone while it was very, very quiet that weekend watching this specific Ryder Cup. But before we get into the bags of Tommy Fleet...
I expect American Golf discount stores or whatever it was.
It was just a normal store. It felt like a discount store.
Well, American Golf, the big retailer. So for our US listeners, that's essentially like your Golf Galaxy, your PGA Tour Superstore.
Your Dick's.
Your Dick's.
Actually, no, it's not as general as Dick's. It's
what I said.
Smaller than Dick's.
Yeah.
It's more specific than Dick's.
Yeah.
And I don't know why they called it American Golf, because it's just got nothing to do with that. I think people over here like the sort of grandeur of America, don't they?
But I'd imagine what my point was, those are bereft of customers on Ryder Cup weekend, right?
No one wants to shop.
Who's in the golf shop
very
then?
Quiet that weekend. But before we'll get on to the actual sponsor of this bit, which isn't American Golf.
Okay, yeah.
It's Golf Clubs for Cash. As they've been sponsored. This is their last one, actually. They've supported the show all year round, haven't they, in around the majors and the big events.
Last one ever or last one?
Well, at the minute, might have some conversations, I don't know.
Come
on, guys. We're having fun. So this is sponsored by Golf Clubs Cash, Europe's leading retailer of great value pre-owned golf equipment. Choose from woods, irons, putters, bags, and much more, as we know, Joe.
Shafts.
With over 40,000 items in stock and more than 50,000 5-star Trustpilot reviews, you're sure to find what you need at Golf Clubs Cash. Shop their website, download their app, or visit their stores in Edinburgh and Warrington. Now, this was written for me in May, and I know now, Joe, big news.
New store.
Milton Keynes. So this is added stuff, Golf Clubs Cash, but there's a new showroom in Milton Keynes. So now we've got Scotland covered. Well, a part of Scotland covered. I'm not saying Edinburgh is all of Scotland. I'd never say that. There's way more of Scotland.
There's Dundee.
There is Dundee.
There's Kilmarnock.
There's Aberdeen.
Yeah.
Any more?
No.
About it. There is the Northwest. That's covered in Warrington.
Yeah.
And we've now got wherever Milton Keynes is. What would you call Milton Keynes? The middle.
Southeast?
No.
Is it not southeast? Howard, help us out.
Just the middle. Middle-ish.
We've got.
I wouldn't call it the Midlands though, because that's where that's Birmingham's and the Coventry's and the Leicesters of this one.
Well, anyway. Look up where Milton Keynes is. If it's near you, you can go shop Golf Clubs of Cash. Brilliant.
Well, you know what I like here? There's free customer parking with disabled access for a start. that's the first thing on this list, yeah? Talking about the 2 Astepods we had, grip changing service, golf club adjustments, golf club maintenance, golf club shaft fitting. You can go and do this at a Golf Clubs of Cash now. With your old set, they can play around with them, or you go in there and pick up a set yourself if you want. That's not quite my spec. It's all in there for you.
That is genuinely good. I didn't know.
Cool, isn't it?
Yeah. Sorry, yeah.
Good. It better be true. It's on their website.
News to me.
Anyway, thank you, Golf Cash, for sponsoring this episode and for looking after us this year. And we hope to have them back very soon, don't we, Joe? But for now, Moliwood. Hey, what a Ryder Cup that was. 2018 in Paris.
Yeah, Paris. Like there was. I remember leading up to it, some people were concerned that the venue wasn't up to it. The course, because it's one that was on the schedule for the DP World Tour. Not everyone was in love with it, but what a brilliant match play
made
course
for a
with
perfect
drama.
Ryder Cup.
The 18th hole, an absolute brute with all the water down the left. But what a brilliant match play course, and what an absolute drubbing the Europeans gave the US.
I think that's why we have so much reverie for it. And then Tommy Fleetwood, and I keep wanting to call him Eduardo, but it's not. It's Francesco Molinari. Francesco Molinari being the champion golfer of the year that year.
3 wins that year, in fact.
What were his other ones? You know?
Oh no.
Just
says 3 wins. Yeah.
God. Useless. And Tommy Fleetwood, who, as you showed me over lunch earlier.
Hey, don't spoil my bit.
What do you mean spoil your bit? I'm trying to set up your bit.
Yeah, but I'm going to get to Fleetwood after Molinari.
Oh, you don't want to do that now?
That's my order.
Sorry.
Stop ruining my order.
And hey, congrats, Tommy. You finally won. Right then. I don't know how long we've been going for, because Joe sneezed earlier and did a big bogey all over his quarter zip, and we might show that if I'm feeling particularly vindictive. And I don't know how long we're going for, so we'll rattle through these, won't we, Joe? Eh?
Well, yeah, we're going to rattle through it now because you've got my goat. So
did it all scare the stains? If there's any stains on his top, that's what it is.
Okay. Shall I go?
Go on.
I'm going to start with Franco Molinari. All right. I had a bit of history with Franco, so I played with him.
You love us
for 2 days at the Portuguese amateur in
Portugal.
In Portugal, I was thinking more of the year. So I'd have been about 17. I'm going to say 2000, 2001, something like that.
Are you both of a similar vintage?
Similar vintage, indeed. Yeah, and he was just. I mean, he was brilliant. He was just monotonous. It looked
fairway,
it was like playing golf. Honestly,
fairway.
It was like playing golf with a robot. He's got that. He's the opposite to me because he's short and stocky, and I was long and gangly. So I had a lot of moving parts and looseness. And he had this compact, neat, tidy little turn back, turn through move that it just didn't look like anything could go wrong, and nothing did go wrong. It was just beautiful, absolutely.
What courses did you play? Do you remember? Was it in the Algarve?
No, it was out on the coast, so it was not a clue. But it was. We both got through the stroke, so it was like 36-hole stroke play, and then you go top 64, get through into the match play section. We both got through quite high up. I think he might have been second or third. I played well as well. But
now you're here.
But yeah, before we get to that, I just remember the most memorable part of that 2 days. We played this Scandinavian lad, and I might go back and find his name at some point. But he was an intriguing individual, little eccentric. Well, the day 2, he was snapping clubs like they were Kit Kats. Like, he must have finished with 6 clubs in his golf bag. He was...
Go on.
He had lost the plot. He was going well day 1, and things started to get away from him from day 2. And I've never seen a man lose his rag like this poor fella was losing his rag. And I promise you, he did not finish with double figures of clubs in his bag. He was going well. And
was he a neck snapper, a knee snapper?
He was a knee snapper. He was a throw snapper. I remember he launched one double-handed at his bag, just capitulated in 2.
Good.
Did a knee.
Yeah.
Smashed one into a tee mark and the head just fell off. he had the full repertoire. And I just remember it being a particularly tough group for him because you were playing with Franco, who was the calmest, most deliberate and thoughtful man in the world, even at that age. Me, I was the most disengaged, relaxed. I mean, they used to.
You were thinking about the bar afterwards.
Well, they used to run the women's tournament alongside the men's one at the same venue. So I'd have just been texting the whole way around, arranging.
You've just got 4 or 5 text conversations going on at once, using all your minutes.
As me and him are just both cruising through the stroke play. This guy's trying his head off, so I can imagine why. And I remember Francesco coming out the scorer's tent, going, "I've written it down here. It's not a tough script." He goes, "You play nice, Joe. I enjoyed playing with you. Him not much." And he had really broken English at that point. That really made me laugh. Anyway,
not to lead into national stereotypes and to try and hurry this up, but this is a very good story. It's almost like the passionate Italian and the calm Scandi just completely flipped personalities.
Flipped on his head. Yeah, this guy was gone, and very interesting. Anyway,
good story. Good.
Back to 2018 and Paris. So mixed bag. A lot of tailor-made products.
Was he sponsored at this point, or contracted?
Seemingly so,
right.
Yeah, but I remember he didn't have a tailor-made bag. I remember he had a blank bag, and then he had a Bettinardi bag. So he might have just been coming out of a tailor-made contract and just had a good relationship with one of the fitters. It's really difficult to establish, truth be told, whether he was under contract.
These things, it's weird. These things aren't announced like football contracts are. It's like Francesco Molinari signs deal with TaylorMade till 2018. It will expire. He doesn't get signed. There's no news stories like this
and you
anymore.
Don't hear the numbers either, do you? He's going to be paid X amount a week.
No.
Why are there these
You barely even know what the club deal is now. I know you and Ferguson we spoke to told us it was an 11 club deal with Titleist, which is why he sneaks some other ones in. We just don't hear it anyway. Sorry, we're going completely off track. Let's get on with it.
No, it's a good point. Like, why isn't there that level of clarity? Some people would care, some people wouldn't. But anyway,
we'd care.
Driver era, so he's in the TaylorMade M4. So that was, do you remember they kind of had a period where they've sort of gone away from it now, where they used to have 2 models. They'd have like the good player adjustable one with weights all over it, and they'd have the slightly friendlier either fixed hosel or less adjustable. So he was kind of in the friendlier one, really. The M4 and M3 were around at that time. Mitsubishi Tensei, CK White 60TX shaft, very stout, low launching product, 8.5 degrees. But like I said, kind of the higher MOI, slightly spinnier head, which might account for that 8.5 degrees, was incredibly straight driver of the golf ball at that period of time. And remember, at Paris, they grew the rough up, and it was desperately, the focus was really on accuracy, and he was, no wonder he did so well around there, and Tommy, incredibly straight drivers of the golf ball. 3-wood, he went into a TaylorMade M3, so he was in the more adjustable version there with all the weights along the bottom.
Weight in it, I remember.
Big fat sliding weight, 13 degrees, so the strong version there of Aldila X-Torsion. You don't see much Aldila product now. You'd see bits and bobs. I mean, Aaron Rye is still knocking about. You still see some. There was a time when Aldila were a really premium tour offering, and it's sort of been forgotten. So I'd love to see a little comeback from Aldila, because there was, I mean, NV product was really popular back in the day. But he was using a shaft called the X-Torsion Green 70X, very much counterbalance shaft, so more weight at the grip end, which allowed him to put more weight in the head without the swing weight getting out of control. Again, very much a low launch shaft profile. You can tend to see these high spin players from a mile off just by their setup. So Molinari was a high spin player in his pomp that I seem to remember, even from playing with him. And again, that helps with stability and accuracy. Spin's your friend for that kind of stuff. As we've said before, the more backspin you've got on the ball, the less propensity it has to sort of tilt that spin axis and waft offline. But you can see them from a mile off. So they're always in low lofted drivers and 3-wood, so 8.5 and 13.
Strong on both ends,
Strong stuff there. Tip stiff shafts. And they always generally seem to opt for like a 2-iron over a 5-wood, because they tend to balloon 5-woods and stuff, which I think Marco Penge, high speed, high spin player, whereas Molinari wasn't as high speed, but he was equally as spinny. You don't often see those guys regularly putting in a high lofted fairway wood or hybrid because they puff them up a little bit more. So, which is a neat segue into his driving iron, which
very
is the
neat. That was good. That was Joe.
P790 UDI, so one of the earlier ones. Graphite shaft in there. UST Mamiya recoil prototype 125 F5, which is kind of an X. I mean, it's catchy, isn't it? As normal. But yeah, he lent on that quite heavily. I remember there's a lot of some of the shorter par fours. Again, accuracy of premium at Paris, and I remember him lacing a lot of those UDIs down there, which was cool. Into his irons, he was a TaylorMade P790 and 4-iron. So he kind of had like a double blend set.
Which can't have been far off the first generation of P790. 2017 it first came out?
I think it was around then, wasn't it? Yeah, so very early into that kind of hollow-bodied iron from TaylorMade there, yeah. So 4-iron in that, and then 5 to pitching wedge. He went in the Wolfie irons, the P750s. Remember them?
Yes.
You liked those, didn't you?
I liked these. And who else had them? Langasque had P760s.
P716 longer irons.
I don't know.
Something about them, isn't there?
I don't know what it is.
Really cool. Shaft-wise, does the standard, the kick point favourite, True Temper Dynamic Gold Taurus X100 in his irons before stepping down to S400s in his wedges. One of the most replicated shaft setups in irons and wedges that we keep seeing over and over again, and I blame one Mr. Tiger Woods. Well, not blame, it's a fine.
It's okay.
It's a fine thing.
Let's not kick off about it,
but
you know what I mean?
You know, yeah.
It's not an argument now.
No, we won't. Wedges, mill grind, TaylorMade mill grind. 50,
first MG.
56, yeah, and then the mill grind high toe, so the first high toe I think it was, in 60 degrees, S400 shafts, as I've said. Putter, Bettinardi guy, wasn't he? So he went in with the Das BB0. So it had...
Das BB0, very German.
So he went on a bit of a putting journey. It was kind of holding him back. I remember the 2010 Ryder Cup, which I was at, because I was working at Celtic Manor at the time, and I remember it was the first one he qualified for, played with his brother Eduardo, and putting at that point was very much a weakness of his game. He did a lot of work with Phil Kenyon, turned it round, and this putter was a big part of that. Phil Kenyon put a lot of effort into making sure he was in the right spec. Now this Das BB0 had a little skull and crossbones stamp in the rear cavity, which looked cool. It had an Italian flag-themed paint fill, which was nice.
That's nice.
We first put it into play at the Players' Championship that year. It's quite an extreme spec, very short, 32.25 inches.
Goodness
and he's not a big lad, but that's still pretty short. I mean, I think Scheffler's 35 and a half or 36, I think he is. So that's a significant difference in length in putter shaft there. Pretty low lofted, 2.5 degrees. So most putters you'll see somewhere between 3 and 4. So obviously something to do with his launch conditions there. Fairly standard lie angle of 70. And one of my favourite ever grips, the Lamkin Deep Etched Paddle. Wonderful putter grip. I'm going to show you that at some point because that's a classic. It's a favourite.
Do it over dinner tonight, yeah.
Well, I'll pop it in the diary. We'll do it as a video call.
Oh, good.
So he first tried a little production model BB39 mid mallet, and he wanted a bit more MOI, so he tried to a production model BB56 bigger mallet. And he liked that putter so much earlier that year that he even posted about it on his Instagram, found this, found that, love it. Phil Kenyon got stuck in, said, no, this isn't going to work. Switched into that current putter, so it had a heavier swing weight as well as a single dot alignment aid on the top instead of any lines, because Kenyon found he aimed that better. But to get the proper swing weight, they had to specifically mill the head to a very precise 372 grams, which, very, very, very precise measurements, because when you go in that short in putter, it's very difficult to control swing weight, because the shorter you go, you're losing dead weight, you're losing swing weight potentially. So precisely milled to 372 there. And as an added touch, the company kept sending him different head covers, putter covers every week, which he referred to
every week. I love that. I'm a head cover nerd. That would be so
up. Lovely. He referred to them as his lucky covers.
Yes,
so that was a nice touch. And he was a Pro V1 X man, which I think obviously helped with the pairing, because people don't talk about that much at the Ryder Cup. When you're pairing up with players to play the same ball, very useful.
A big part, or bigger than we think, part of why Lowry and Straka played together, perhaps?
There's a tactics behind it, isn't there? Because you can actually change the ball mid-round. But you...
For the tee shot.
For the tee shot. So,
I
think what they tend to do, from memory, is whoever's playing the approach shot will be playing the approach shot with the ball. So you and me are teeing off. If you're teeing off, we're going to hit my shot. we're going to hit my ball because I'm going to hit the approach shot. And it's more important to have the spin and the distance control on that second shot than it is on driver, is how that's viewed.
Hadn't even thought about that. We should... kind of be bothered. Should we
try and keep brainstorming on the job?
Should we try and keep an eye out for this in the Ryder Cup this weekend?
There's some little stories. There's there's a lot of stuff like that. There's been some we could do Ryder Cup equipment controversies. There's been plenty of those. There's been the time when Seve stepped in because Azinger and his partner changed compression of their ball on certain holes to get an advantage he felt, which was against the rules at that time, and basically accused them of cheating. There's the time someone rang in to dob Harris English in because his putter grip, part of the leather was coming off, and when it was detached that becomes non-conforming, so they made him re-grip it before the final round of the Ryder Cup. There's a lot of little equipment. Remember when Phil Mickelson changed all his gear on the eve of the Ryder Cup and played like a donkey? There's a lot of Ryder Cup equipment specials. We could do that, Dan.
We can keep an eye out on Tommy because he'll have his picks.
Yeah, that's
He'll
true.
probably take the picks out because I'm guessing whoever his partner is won't want picks.
I think that when he played with Rory last time, they certainly didn't use the picks, did they? I don't think.
They won't tailor-made, guys. It'll be fun.
That's true. There you go.
On to Fleetwood then, speaking of the devil.
Tommy, I like doing this because I just really like Tommy Fleetwood. I know everyone right now loves Tommy Fleetwood. It's just coming to light. All I keep seeing is what a nice guy he is, how down-to-earth he is. Like he needed the Tour Championship win for people to notice that. It's just one of the good guys.
And hey, sorry this is out of date, but I know this happened ages ago for everyone listening, but to hear the crowd, my dad pointed out to me, an American crowd, with a month before the Ryder Cup, going, Tommy, and not giving it USA when Cantlay is in contention.
Correct, yeah.
Just shows how much he's loved universally, and rightly so.
He did a little press conference I saw. He was just saying, his dad always said, it's good person first, good golfer second, that's all that matters, and he seems to live by that. So
and that's where you fell down.
Good on him, correct. In so many ways. Went bad person, bang average golfer. Right, Fleetwood, let's move on with these personal attacks. Driver, I love this bag. So he was in the M3 driver, the TaylorMade M3, so the more adjustable, weighty, more going on version than Molinari's M4. 8.5 degrees as well. We've spoken about this shaft before, I think, Mitsubishi Kurakage 70TX, so it's incredibly... He still uses it in his 5-wood and his 9-wood, I think it is at the moment. So it's one of the most smooth-feeling stable shafts you can possibly get. So you get the stability. It's not flexing around. There's no excessive tip. There's no excessive kick. But it just feels like... Yeah, smooth is the only word I can use to describe it. There's no boardiness to it. There's no rigidity. It just feels like it's staying with you. It's a real cult favourite for people who don't like that boardy feeling. Some people love that stability and I want to swing an iron rod because I know it's not moving. This gives you that stability, but it doesn't feel like it's doing it. That's probably why he's been dabbling in Ventus Red, because it's a similar thing. You've got stability, but there's a little bit of give to it. That M3 driver, it had kind of like a Y track on the bottom. Do you remember? So like
loads you could do with it. Yeah,
put
like
stuff
a map
anywhere, couldn't you? You could just move these two weights in all sorts of little areas.
Was that the first year of Twist Face?
M3,
M4. Almost sure it was. M2 wasn't Twist Face.
Fact check that. I don't know. I know.
No, I'm fact checking it now. I'm calling it.
Cool. Dan's calling that. So there you go. So that could be wrong.
Yeah.
3-wood. That was an interesting one. He was toying between. I looked back at a lot of Getty images of this of that week, and he had 2 out in practice. So he had his Nike Vaporfly, the blue head.
Oh,
remember that? In 13 degrees. This is the one he put in the end. 13 degrees. The US Team Amaya Pro Force VTS 7X. I love that 3-wood. Did we miss exciting colours in golf clubs? Because that was like a dynamic blue with electric yellow underneath, wasn't it?
One of my playing partners the other day whacked out a Cobra amp thing.
Yeah.
One of the ones that had a blue crown. I was like, oh, hello.
Yeah.
Oh.
And we don't see much
too
of
much
it, do we?
grey and black. You know what I mean? Let's have a bit of fun.
That would be cool if someone just broke that mould.
It's going to. It's all
been a while.
cyclical. It's coming back.
Good point.
I'll give it a year.
But yeah, he was toying between that and there was a Titleist model I kept seeing. I can't remember what it would have been at the time.
Titleist club. It was wrong.
No, I don't know what it would have been, but there was a Titleist model he was toying about with in practice with the same shafts. It's presumably the same setup, but it didn't make the cut.
Is it the 3-wood he had to fight with Paul Casey about, or was it the irons that they had a disagreement on?
Which we'll get on to.
Oh, yeah,
That's very interesting, yeah.
Jump the gun.
But he matched up that 3-wood with a 5-wood he had in for years. Even long after his Nike contract expired, and he was, I think, even into his TaylorMade years. He stuck out this Vaporfly 5-wood, 19 degrees, Mitsubishi Diamond Blue 80TX. He stuck that out for yonks. He just said that was his go-to. It did everything he wanted it to do. He just felt he couldn't hit a bad shot with that. And I miss seeing those electric blue ones. I'd love to see someone just, like you said,
I even miss like the white crowns of the R11s and the RBZs. Like I just look at them on telly, you're like, oh, that's a bit of fun, and I don't know.
I wonder manufacturing-wise, because
something to do.
Nike struggled a little bit sometimes on those product cycles when it was the bright red head, when it was the blue head, and I think they noticed a massive uptick when it went back to, they did like the same model essentially, but with a black head and just a little tick.
I genuinely think, and this is probably the same in the US, because everyone's got, everyone will have their teams they support. If I'm a Birmingham City fan, they play in blue. I don't want to see, I don't not like red. If I see claret on anything, get it out of my hands. But if you're the blue side of Manchester, if you're the blue side of Liverpool,
do you think
the red
that's why
side
I
of
don't
Liverpool.
like red on golf? Because I'm a Newcastle fan. Sunderland are rivals.
There you go.
Any red, I hate.
Genuinely,
red
I think there's a lot of that. If you're in the States, if you're a Detroit Lions fan, you'd rather have blue. I don't know. Maybe those kind of colours are too divisive.
Possibly.
Just a theory.
So onto his irons. Thanks for that lovely theory, Dan. Nike VR Forge.
Stop saying Nike.
I can't help it. I've just
stop sneezing on yourself and stop saying Nike.
Okay.
Or
Nike
something.
VR Forged 4 irons, so slightly more cavity with a bit more punch before going into the Nike VR Pro 5 to 9 irons with Project X rifle 6.5 shafts. Now, this was where him and Paul Casey had a playful falling out, but I think there was a bit of like some serious undertones to it. So basically, well, let me read you what Tommy said. He said, Paul's got a brand new set of these and he won't give them to me. Shame on Paul. He's pretty set in his ways, so I don't think I'll be getting those. Honestly, though, changing might make life easier. If something went wrong with a set from another manufacturer, I could get them fixed and it wouldn't be a struggle. And then Casey responded with, listen, they're rare as rocking horse poo, and I will not sell them to him, or put it this way, he hasn't offered me enough money. They look beautiful, by the way, and I haven't used them. They're kind of the clubs you could hang on the wall. I love the fact that Tommy's running around telling everybody, but I haven't found any gifts in my locker or handwritten notes. He's got to try harder. But on the prospect...
Cracking PC impersonation.
Thank you very much.
Nothing like a fit PC.
Well, he said, if you were playing with him, would you lend them to him? He said, well, if I hopefully make the Ryder Cup team and he's my partner, maybe I'd loan them out to him for the week because I want him to play well, but I'll have them right back at the end of the week, he said. So that's interesting, isn't it?
That is interesting. Make of that what you will, listener.
But then what happened after that is...
Was Paul Casey not playing them? He was just keeping them just
he was in Mizuno by that point. So he was an old Nike player and he used them at the time, but he sort of stockpiled, as a lot of players do, sets, which Fleetwood had as well. I think he'd been through 2 or 3 sets, but he was just at the end
You're not going to use them, mate. Like, he
was just at the end. The weird
I'll give you some cash
they were stamped with PC. Ooh. So Fleetwood would have had to play PC stamped irons, which...
it can't have been worth it.
But then you say he went into P7 TW, so he's playing TW stamped irons of someone who he was playing against at that time. I can see what's going through your head. I probably would rather play the Tiger Woods stamped irons than Paul Casey stamped irons. I get it. But yeah, so anyway,
bit of controversy, I don't mind it.
But that was, I thought that was quite a funny one. That the stockpiling didn't work, and he was having to try and outsource, and that was one of the last times. Interestingly, that culminated in that Ryder Cup because I think that might have even been one of the last 3 or 4 competitive events he ever used those irons in. As the next year he went on to the P7Ws that he's been in ever since. So
2018 was what? When did Nike go out of clubs? 16? It's like 2 or 3 years out.
You should really fact check some of this stuff.
Well, we're just having a conversation, man.
Yeah, but people are listening.
Yeah, but are they
anymore? I don't know, but they might be. So we should.
They'll be shouting wherever they listen to this. 2050.
Exactly. And then so one of the wedges wise, you didn't often see this back in the day, and I think you might see this more next year. Non-contracted players using Callaway wedges. So
you think?
Yeah. I think the SP that I've seen, the Opus SP, really like it visually, and I've not. That's a lot of speculations. I've not even struck a shot with it yet, but they can't be
worst club tester in the industry.
Yeah, well, they can't be. It's a wedge. They've got the same grind options they had with standard Opus, which were really good. They've put in a feature where they think they've raised centre of gravity and helped spin. Sam has tested them, who I speak to.
Tommy Fleetwood, what's in the bag?
Tommy Fleetwood. Back on focus. So Callaway MacDaddy forged 4809, 5210, 5610, 6008.
Wow.
Went down to his dynamic gold tourist shoot S400s in those, but he goes from Project X rifles, which I like about Tommy because he just likes being a little bit different. But yeah, one of the very few. You didn't see a lot of players, most non-contracted players who, or even contracted players that didn't like the wedges of their manufacturer. Vokey. That's what they would go into. But he used those Callaway MacDaddies for ages.
That's really interesting. I didn't see that. But how about I saw the equipment junkie talking about this. I'm going to take us off track, despite me having a go at you for taking us off track there. It's poor from me.
Hope you're noticing that, everybody. The double standards that exist on Kickpoint, the Golf Gear Show.
That's about right, isn't it? TaylorMade, with their new forged MG5, they're dominating. They could start to dominate the wedge space where that used to be Titleist's area. And Titleist starting to dominate the non-contracted driver and the driver counts where they used to be TaylorMade. There's been a bit of a changing of the guards there,
Well, if
Joe.
we're talking TaylorMade, as you always tell me, Spider putters. Tommy's been struggling with putting all year. He's in a Spider. It's a custom
and you don't
Spider.
have to have a lot of putters in play to win a putter count. Maybe, 15? And you're probably going to be top because there's so many.
But again, those people that aren't paid to use it and can use what they want, we're seeing more and more in Spider. Used to be they'd all use an Odyssey or a Scotty Cameron. I
feel like there's a bit of changing the guard at the minute. There's a bit of a reshuffling of what brands are doing well at what on tour.
There's a little bit.
We'll keep an eye on it, won't we? Eh?
Of course we will. We're on the cutting edge now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Putter Odyssey White Hot Pro number 3 that he'd been in for some time. Grip was cool. He had got a Super Stroke Mid Slim 2.0, and I found on Getty Images he had that sort of European special grip where they did like a blue and one, but I didn't notice before. Actually put his name on it. It actually says Tommy Fleetwood down the side of it.
Nice.
I'd not seen
what part
before.
Of it?
I can't remember, but it'll be up on your screens right now, so you can see. I think it's just straight down the right-hand side, I think.
Lovely.
But I just hadn't noticed that before, and that was just a cool thing I noticed when we were doing that. Pro V1X, as I said, so both playing the same ball, helping with that pairing. There's just something different about Ryder Cup, Tom, isn't there? Because as you alluded to at the start of this, now Fleetwood just won the Tour Championship, and he was very pleased. He won lots of money. He was punching the air. He was chuffed. But you do not see a man get as chuffed in terms of celebration as Tommy Fleetwood at a Ryder Cup. Now, this is Paris. This was Rome. Like, he saves a special celebration, seemingly, for the Ryder Cup. And they're going to be up on your screen now. And I've got 4, I think, different examples of different points on the course where he goes into this brilliantly passionate, weird, deep squat where he's just so excited he doesn't know what to do that he just gets really low and nearly sits on the ground with his feet still on the ground, and he's just so low. And what I did notice, actually, Dan, look up there just past the light, top left.
Oh, Justin's doing one.
I think it's a Ryder Cup.
What year? That was Rome. He's down there. Oh, when you hold that putt on the last.
And he started pointing at everyone.
You.
Well, he's in the full deep squat. His bum's nearly on the floor as well.
Do you reckon they train that in the locker room?
Well,
all the lads. I can't even. Shall I try?
Please do. Now punch the air.
Yes. I'm not getting down there with any kind of skill.
So, as much as I'm chuffed and thrilled that he's winning these events, I am so looking forward to Bethpage to see if he gets that excited. Because I've not seen it in any of his European Tour wins. I've not seen it when he just won 10 million quid at the FedEx Cup. It's something about the Ryder Cup that sends these people into a frenzy that sends them so low. So keep your eye out for that at Bethpage. You know things going well if Tommy is in a deep squat.
And maybe we can have a who can go the lowest, who can produce the deepest squat in the European team when they do something great.
Correct.
Which they will, because we're going to win it.
And if you're, which you may well be on the European Ryder Cup team and you're listening to this, and you haven't worked on your deep squat celebration, get on it, because Rose is doing it. He's going to be deep squatting. Fleetwood quite clearly has that in the locker. I would suggest these guys should work on this. I want to see Bobby Mack in the deep squat. Big Sepp, if he gets in, I want to see him deep squatting.
I think he'll get back up.
Well, he might need a hand, but that's fine. Shano
and Step giving it that. Yeah.
So, keep your eye out for the deep squat, and that's what I've seen, and that's what Moliwood were using at that Ryder Cup. Can we go and play some golf
Let's go play some golf. We're going to go play Northants now. Hey, we're having fun. I hope you enjoyed that, though. The Ryder Cup is coming up, and we're going to enjoy it. I don't know what else to say, really. Big thank you to Northants for having us, and I guess thank you to Justin Rose, though, of course, he has no idea we're in here and doesn't approve these things. He doesn't Sign out, he's a busy man.
Hey, we'll tag him in, though, on some social posts to see if we get some correspondence. Come on, Justin.
Come on. So thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We'll be back next week for much of the same. Until then, Joe, what are you going to shoot out
there? Well, we had a little downpour, which has softened up the greens just while we were recording this. That's now created what I officially call scoring weather.
Oh, well, you heard it here. We'll feed back next week.
So 5 over.
We'll hear back next week. Until then, goodbye.
Bye.